Shalom and greetings to you all. Now, every week you kind of have to wonder how much lower things can go. Well, we may have a winner. Last week an attempted assassination took place over politics. Now, there's nothing new there, except it's been 50 years since the last, and it wasn't over actual political positions. It was simply over hate and fear instead. When you can't civilly debate policy, you simply fuel anger, hatred, rhetoric, and that appeals to the emotional reactiveness of man. Logic disappears at emotional times. We don't think. We simply react emotionally in a nanosecond. We may realize later that we were foolish, swept up in a mob, not truly ourselves. The reaction's immediate, and we're in a downward spiral of projection and anger. It is very fast to enter into, and the way out can be a much longer process. Well, all right. Being foolish. Well, all right. Let people know the dreams and wishes. We wish in all right, all right. We're living life, all right, all right. Our lifetime's love will be all right. Now, why can't we love instead of hate? Understand instead of project. We're going to see some characters who are not understood in today's reading. We're only a few weeks away from the day set aside to celebrate love. No, not Valentine's Day, but the Hebrew Festival of Love, a special day in the Hebrew calendar. Well, love is a unifying, universal entity. Everyone and everything is different. Yes, there's shared knowledge. Yes, there are shared characteristics, but possession of knowledge alone can never bestow virtue, happiness, or fulfillment. For those things, we must look within and beyond ourselves. They're the part of us that interacts with who and what we are. We're all different. But one thing that makes us the same is our need and desire to come together as a group like we do when we gather, to honor and pray and observe, as a community, as all communities do. At that point, we put differences aside. We form like-minded groups, collective consciousness of seekers showing faith. Any and all faith, love any and all love, because we as people can become a true fellowship, a chavura, as we express our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes. It unites us all in this community house of spirit, Beth Ruach, sharing and bringing light, keeping fear at bay. And even though together, we're always individual in our approach, each connecting in his or her their own way. So once again, please do go ahead, invite everybody in. Some physically, the rest digitally, psychically, emotionally, spiritually, to gather and share from Psalm 133, the Hine Matov. Come together. Hine Matov. Hey. Shevet Achim Gam Yah. Hine Matov. Hey. Shevet Achim Gam Yah. How good, how pleasant brothers and sisters together. Community. 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 Together. Now we support each other in this community. So let's all spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the world. Remember, friends, this is you setting aside a little bit of sacred time in your own sacred space to honor and converse with whoever, whatever you happen to believe in, because like I say, we all believe in something. It is a part of your kavanah, your intention that you put out to the universe. It's your goodwill. Goodwill and intention are the roots of what you control, of what you can correct. It's your intention that sets in motion everything that occurs in your lives. So let's take some time now. Let's use that intention. Send some of that goodwill, some light, some healing out to whoever you know that needs it. Healing and renewals for everybody. It just flows through space, finding those in need. So send it out for those you know and for the souls and spirits of everybody you love. So think of whoever that needs healing, renewal, love, or even just plain goodwill. Focus on them. Call their names. It's not for just only for people. It's for our pets. It's for the earth. It is the healing of the world. Tikkun olam, healing of the world. It's part of our spiritual genetic makeup. We've been doing it forever. Part of the healing of the world is when we send thoughts and energy for health and renewal and recovery and goodwill for everybody. You don't have to be sick, but it is always sent for the sick. It's for those in our hearts and our minds. So let's all send energy out for people in need everywhere. Special thoughts and prayers for those in need of assistance. We pray for those who need prayer. We don't have to know them. We want health, recovery, good life for everybody around us. Freedom for the hostages. More than ever, let us send healing energy for those hostages still held by the animal terrorists, strangely supported all over the world. And for those closer to us. For AJ, who needs some blessings and Amin, please God heal him. For the builder, Gary, for Paul and Maria, for Pam and Roger, for precious Lucy and Gloria and Inora, for Johnny and Fern, Kathleen and Ken, Jessica, Mina, Carla, for Gabby, for Charles and John and Maria, for Doria, for Ronnie and Connie, for Tally and Maya, for Snoopy, Danny and Nina, for all those suffering and in need. And let's not forget to include the familiars of our lives, all of our sacred animal friends everywhere, for everybody you know in need, for the whole world, for Devora. Friends, it is the kindness, the healing, which is the goodwill and love. We all send that, which just circles the world finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care, because the world is a world of spirit, and spirit, my friends, never dies. Bakor. May the source of strength bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage. Make our lives a blessing. Amen. Barak, let us all have our spirits renewed. This is the great prayer for healing, which we call upon God to heal as is healed before. Misha Barak, may he be blessed, because all healing is a blessing. Let's all send and receive healing and renewal energy in our efforts to love, to share, to care, to grow. As quickly come to the end of the wilderness stories, we read one of the most fascinating and iconic parts of the Torah. And there's only a couple left after this one. This week we read Balak. And we're going to see some characters who are the Bible's most misunderstood in today's reading. Do you understand me now? Sometimes I feel a little mad. Don't you know no one alive can always be an angel? When things go wrong, I seem to be bad. I'm just a soldier whose intentions are good. Oh Lord, please don't be misunderstood. Now last week, we met Moses' brass snake, the Hushta. Perhaps the second most famous snake in the Bible. The most being the talking serpent in Genesis, who many mistakenly thinks the devil. This week, we're going to meet another animal. And it's one whose name we do not know, but who, like the serpent in Genesis, is actually the only other animal in the Bible that talks. People yakety yak, a streak can waste your time today, but Mr. Head will never speak unless he has something to say. Go right to the source and ask the horse. I'll give you an answer that you'll endorse. He's always on a steady course. Talk to Mr. Ed. Now, would that more people were like Mr. Ed and knew when and to whom to talk. My good pal knows. We always felt this serious book of life had no room for humor. But humor is an essential part of life. And this is the one true piece of humor in the Bible. It's humor with a very strong message. In fact, the Bible would be a strange and incomplete book without it. It's humor that makes it real. Our lives have humor in it that makes them real. We just sometimes have trouble putting humor in such a serious vein. So if you get nothing else from this reading, the fact that this is really the only true piece of humor, what many consider a rule book of life, is astounding in itself. This episode that you're going to read about confounded the ancient rabbis so much they came to the conclusion that this was one of 10 items preordained at the time of creation. It truly is one of the great readings, mystical and magical. Ranks right up with the great dream stories. And while it's called the balak, given the name convention of the Torah, it really should have been called Balaam for the chief character. Numbers 22:3 in Moab, very fearful because of the people, because it was numerous, and Moab felt a disgust at the children of Israel. Now it is a very strange human characteristic, unfortunately one that is still very prevalent, taking the very existence of someone who is different or strong to be a threat. So the king, Balak, takes action, and he sent messengers to Balaam. So this week's Torah reading tells the story of how Balak hires the prophet Balaam to lay a curse on Israel. He's a hired gun. Balaam meets resistance from God, has a conversation with his donkey, the other talking animal in the Bible, and ends up blessing Israel instead of cursing them. And believe it or not, this is actually one of the oldest pieces in the Bible. Balaam, son of Beor, is actually described in a plaster inscription from Deir Allah that was discovered in 1967. He is the earliest person mentioned in the Bible who is also mentioned in an archaeological source. We get very excited by the discovery of proof. So is this proof of the whole story? Maybe. That's something we each have to decide for ourselves. Numbers 22:6, and now go, curse the people for me, because it's more powerful than I. Maybe I'll be able. We'll strike it. We'll drive it from the land, because I know that whoever you bless will be blessed, and whoever you curse will be cursed. Now these words actually harken back to the words of Abraham, and we're going to hear them several times in this reading, but said a little differently. Emissaries of King Balak come to Balaam to hire him, but he resists them. He listens and does what God tells him, not what man tells him. God said to Balaam, you shall not go with them. You shall not curse the people, for it is blessed. Now, how do we do that today? How do you tell someone God told you to do or to not do something? If you do, most people will think you're nuts. But if you tell them that your guts told you, or your higher self, well, you know what, that's okay. Well, God talks to us all, my friends. That is your guts, that is your higher self. And sometimes you simply get a feeling. I got a feeling. Feeling deep inside. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I got a feeling I can't hide. Oh no. No, no. I got a feeling. Now, he says he's not for hire. God told him not to go, so he's not going. No matter the amount they're willing to offer him, but he ends up going. And we have these contradictory messages. Because then we read that God says, well, if these men, have come to call you, rise and go with them. But only the words that I speak to you shall you do. Well, first God says don't go, and now he's saying go. But he adds this provision, only the words that I speak to you shall you do. So he goes. But the donkey he is riding is hesitant. The donkey sees an angel blocking their path, and 3 times refuses to go. Now in the Hebrew, the term is ass. A donkey and an ass are the same kind of an animal. And the ass saw the Lord's messenger stationed in the road. And of course, we know when we read God's messenger, we're talking about an angel. So the donkey sees this angel standing in the road. And it continues. His sword unsheathed in his hand. The ass swerved from the road and went into the field. And Balaam struck the ass to steer her back to the road. And the Lord's messenger stood in the footpath through the vineyards, fence on one side and a fence on the other. And the ass saw the Lord's messenger, and was pressed against the wall, and pressed Balaam's leg against the wall, and once more he struck her. The Lord's messenger crossed over and stood in a narrow place in which there was no way to swerve right or left. And the ass saw the Lord's messenger and crouched down under Balaam, and Balaam's wrath flared, and he struck the ass with the stick. And the Lord opened the ass's mouth, and she said to Balaam, "What have I done to you, that you should have struck me these 3 times? And Balaam said to the ass, "Because you've toyed with me. Had I a sword in my hand, by now I would have killed you." And the ass said to Balaam, "Am I not your ass upon whom you've ridden your whole life till this day? Have I ever been wont to do this to you?" And he said, "No." And the Lord unveiled Balaam's eyes, and he saw the Lord's messenger stationed in the road, his sword unsheathed in his hand, and he prostrated himself and bowed down on his face. Now, there's very interesting things here. Number one, of course, is that, the ass talks to Balaam, and Balaam answers. He's not surprised. So, have these two had conversations before? We don't know. But the ass sees the Lord's angel in the road, while her master, the professional seer, remains blind to the divine emissary until his eyes are unveiled. The unveiling or uncovering of the eyes is crucial to the central theme of vision. Think of your third eye. And both unveiling and eyes are going to recur in the prologue of Balaam's oracles. Now, the Torah records how, after being thoroughly humiliated by his talking donkey, Balaam the sorcerer and prophet, commissioned to curse the Jews, found himself incapable of cursing them. Instead, he bestowed on the Jews 4 tremendous blessings, and continues to remind us what we heard before, and possibly never more poignantly than when Joseph told us he was just a mouthpiece. God is in charge. God put the words in his mouth. Well, Balaam can only say what God told him to do. Numbers 23:25. And Balaam answered and said to Balak, "Did I not speak to you, saying, all that the Lord speaks, only that may I do?" Now, the Midrash actually tells us that Balaam was so great a prophet, his prophecy equaled that of Moses. Yes, my friends, the world is sacred, so is everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish, celebrate your life and the lives of those you love, share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom, be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light, and all who live in the light, and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace, for freedom, for everyone, especially the hostages. An end to terror and hatred, an end to war. Remember, friends, we're a community. We learn together, we celebrate with each other, because we love each other. We share this right together, men and women equally, so let's send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, healing to all who need it. Please do. Learn to forgive, learn to love. Open your hearts, honor the relationships of your life, and tell those you love that you love them. I tell you that every week, and I'll continue to, because it's so important. Examine your intentions. Use them to imprint your will on the universe. Remember, we set in motion all that happens in our lives. It's our intention, our caveats, our cause, our effect. Everything's linked. Now you have time to forgive, and you have time to be forgiven. You have that knowledge of what's good and bad, so acknowledge what you have done wrong to yourself, to God, to any person you've wronged, and ask forgiveness. But do so with sincerity, with vulnerability, with accountability. Forgive those who've hurt you. You learn to be forgiving and compassionate, because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace lays in acceptance, my friends. Can you accept yourself, other people in the world just as they are? Can you accept life as it is without trying to control it? Because if you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. So keep on dreaming. Keep on being. Keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching. Keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear, follow love. It is always in front of you. And please work to be present in the body. Expand your heart, quiet your mind. Because the deepest source of your real power, it lies in your consciousness and your ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all of life's circumstances. Love with the heart, because we're all part of a greater whole. Embrace love, not fear, forgiveness, not anger, and be there for someone, because someone will always be there for you, whether you know it or not. Continue to explore faith and belief, what they mean to you. Never accept shame. It's not a natural state. Whatever you feel, others have felt. Whatever you've experienced, others have too. Because we share together, we learn together, we help each other. Because we are each of us trying to find love and acceptance and support. We all have or could have a special someone in our lives, so find them. Tell them what they mean. Now, you're never alone on your journey. Keep forgiving those you need to forgive. Keep asking forgiveness from those you need to ask forgiveness of. Listen to the voice of God as he, she, it, them, they, whatever, talks to you. I don't know if there actually are any other pronouns. Remember your connection to God and all he has created in body and soul. It's a part of you. It's a part of me. It's a part of all of us and always will be. Now, one of the other things that was preordained and coming up in a few weeks, as I mentioned, is the Festival of Love. It is considered the happiest day of the year. It comes less than a week after the saddest day of the year. Now, the Festival of Love is on the 15th of Av. It's one of the most important holidays in the calendar. It's a light, non-religious, but an essential holiday. The power of love is a curious thing. Make one man weep, make another man sing. Change a hawk to a little white dove. More than a feeling, that's the power of love. First time you feel it, might make you sad. Next time you feel it, might make you mad. But you'll be glad when you found that's the power. Makes the world go round. Don't need money, don't take fame. Don't need no credit card to ride this train. It's strong and sudden and it's cruel sometimes, but it might just save your life. That's the power of love. Now, no matter what you feel, there is far more power in love than anything. It holds the universe together. Thank you for joining me, my friends. Keep sharing the light. Practice forgiveness. Be thankful, be gracious, be kind. Be loving, believe in yourself. Spread a little goodwill to the world. Continue to be the miracle in someone else's life and be an example of all you can be. Shabbat shalom and blessings to you all. Take care. I'll see you soon.